I want to use a little bit of your words here because you end the book with an ellipsis and you say, a beautiful year has no conclusion. There's only an invitation to start again. This is not the end. And so, with that in mind, what do you hope that readers will start or start again after finishing your book?
Gosh, Shamar, that is such a great question. Um, I found over the years, part of the reason I wrote about this as I wrote about it as a spiritual practice, because people ask me all the time, how is it that you have held on to being a Christian through all of this? Why does it matter? Why don't you just give it up? Aren't you angry at the church? All the things. And there are certain things that have held me, and held my spiritual imagination over time. And this is one of them, that cycle of the seasons. And I think that a big part of its appeal to me is that in Western culture, and even as historians, the three of us, we're really taught to think about history as a line with a beginning and a middle and an end. And I don't wonder sometimes if that gets us into trouble. Because if you think of history just as a beginning, a middle, and an end, um, you can get pretty depressed if the end isn't going in a good way, or you think, how can I fix this? Is that the linear view of history and time, um, presents to us a set of challenges that are sometimes seemingly insurmountable. Whereas what the Christian year does is it presents to us the cycle over and over and over again. The Christian year is not linear time. It is time that moves as a spiral or as in layers or in that cyclical or circular motion. And to go back and to repeat and to relearn and to rehear stories year after year after year after year, you think it would get repetitive and boring, but it kind of doesn't, because every year the stories land differently and more meaningfully. And if you do that intentionally as a spiritual practice, I think it creates great depth and grounding in life. And that's my experience. I guess I wanted to share that with my friends.